So this is my Dark Knight Rises review. My name is Daniel Yoxheimer. I just, and disrespectfully, so to the, in disrespect to the victims in Colorado, I guess I'm wearing a Joker shirt. That's really fucking insensitive of me. The Dark Knight Rises, great film. Liked it. My fiance was a little bit, it's a movie she likes. I mean, there's good actors in it like Michael Caine and, Anne Hathaway, and Christian Bale's a pretty good actor. I mean, it avoided the third movie curse, unlike this last Spider-Man trilogy, and I guess going back a ways, Superman, Superman 3, The Quest for Peace, holy fucking shit, that was terrible, with John Cryer. Yeah, it was like the most low-budget. It looked like a bunch of film students who were experimenting with special effects made it. It was just a real piece of shit. I think that's like the second most tragic thing that happened to Christopher Reeve. But anyway, seriously, in all seriousness, love the movie. It was great. It's a long one. It's 2 hours 45. Sure. I went to the midnight showing, and then I went to go see with my fiance because I couldn't wait. I was so excited about this movie, and I was not disappointed. I liked Bane. He was a little weird. I wasn't sure what I would think of him. I mean, Tom Hardy did a good job. It was it's hard to compare like who was a little more a cooler villain. Was it Bane or the Joker in these movies? It's kind of a toss-up for me right now. I thought that voice was just pretty, ominous, and it just, in the opening especially, because he had the hood on his head on the plane, and he the guy asks him, will it be painful if I take that mask off? And he's just like, it will be, for you, That's not a very good one. There's some good quotes. Bane had some good quotes. What was one? Oh, the other one when Batman was fighting him in the subway. It was when Batman used like his EMP pulse thing on his belt to make everything go dark, and he goes, "Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You've merely adopted the dark. I was born in it." That was cool. So I don't know. They really didn't go into detail exactly what happened to him. That he needed this respirator type thing. It just made him look like a cool villain. I mean, kind of a little Darth Vader-ish, not exactly, but it was when he was speaking through that. I think Tom Hardy did do that voice, and they looped it probably to process it to make it sound that cool. And but he was a scary motherfucker. I didn't think his death was that. I don't know. I thought that was a little bit anticlimactic, but. The Catwoman just shows up and shoots her with the bat cycle, with the big cannons in front of the bat pod from the second movie. And that was pretty cool. He just shoots him, he just slides it. Well, you wanted him killed. He was just such an asshole. I mean, he really was. Bane is such a dick. He was just holding the whole Gotham hostage with a core of this fusion reactor that Wayne Enterprise developed, and this is kind of how Bruce loses his money, which I haven't gone into entirely. But in the beginning of the movie, Bruce is crippled, kind of hobbled, not crippled, but he's got a cane. His knees are bad, I guess, from jumping from buildings and trying to glide down. I guess that's pretty hell on your knees. The last movie was in the Dark Knight. He jumps off the top of this parking deck spiral and just lands on a van and crushes it. It's like, that's gotta fuck your knees up, and it did. So there was a little bit of realism there, but he put some weird kind of strap leg brace thing that augments the strength of his leg, and I guess that's how he got back into action. But he's not he's not at 100%. This is 8 years later. He's been gone for 8 years. Bruce Wayne's been like a Howard Hughes-esque recluse, and he hasn't been paying attention much to the company. So he goes and sees Lucius Fox, played by the awesome, as always, Morgan Freeman. Goes there, and this Daggett corporate guy who's got some interest in the Wayne Enterprises basically buys up the rest of the company. I think that's what happened, and takes everything, you know, because there was a thing that was going to expire at midnight, this negotiation. So, you know, Bruce wakes up, newspaper says, "You're broke." And you think he'd be keeping up with this shit on Twitter or something, you know? I mean, I have a freaking smartphone. I would have found out, like, it would have alerted me that my fortune was gone. But Mr. Techno Wizard, who has all the best gadgets in the world, just, "Oh man, wake up," and Alfred's gone, because Alfred left at this point in the movie when he finds out he's broke, because Alfred, you know, gave him one of his speeches and told him that he burned that note that Rachel left him, that Rachel Dawes was gonna go with Harvey Dent in the last movie. There's a lot of details to go into, but it's pretty, you know, the movie's, it's interesting, and Batman does return. He after Bane robs the stock market, or it's the stock exchange, because that's what usually, you know, bank robbers do. But they stole, like, they just stole a bunch of money. They hacked into the system, stole money that way, and then Batman shows up and on the Bat bike, Bat motorcycle, or whatever. And the cops are obviously after him because he still wanted for Harvey Dent's death, because he took the fall for it in the last movie, so Gotham wouldn't lose hope. You know, the thing is, what city's hopes hinge on a politician or a district attorney, because they're always corrupt anyway. But anyway, so Batman, that's part of why he also disappeared. And so it picks up for a while, and then, you know, after he encounters Catwoman way in the beginning of the movie, when he's still a recluse, and Catwoman sneaks into Wayne Manor as one of the service or maids or whatever, and she steals his mother's pearls out of this unbreakable and crackable safe, and she basically used this, when she did break in the safe and steal the pearls, she used it to get Bruce Wayne's fingerprints for identity theft purposes or whatever. And then there's also this other program that Catwoman's after. It's some sort of thing that will erase your past. You just enter in your name and your date of birth, and it'll erase your past from all databases throughout the world. Pretty cool, pretty awesome. And so yeah, there's that. It's kind of a subplot. I mean, some people think Catwoman's role in the movie was pretty. It wasn't needed. You kind of needed her because you needed some other, I think, villain, not villain, but someone else there for Batman to fight with. I think he needed a partner, and he kind of did. He had two partners. He had the character John Blake, the police officer who became a detective throughout the film. He was cool. I liked him. I like that character. It's played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Probably don't have it wrong. Joseph Levitt Gordon. He has 3 names he uses. He used to be the little kid on Third Rock from the Sun. That helps you. Really cool. Through him they sort of do a little nod to Robin, and there's so much stuff to go into. I can't possibly, say it all here. It would take like an hour. I mean, I could, to really get into what the whole movie was about and how it tied up loose ends. Basically, it deals with a lot of, ties up loose ends with the Ra's al Ghul, League of Shadows business, I guess if you want to say that, even though he did destroy their whole monastery and killed him at the end of the first movie, or just left him die in a train. I don't know if that breaks the rule of, but he was, crazy. He was trying to destroy the whole city. And it is this plot where they're trying to destroy the whole city. I mean, the Joker didn't really try to destroy the whole city. He just wanted to turn it into a playground of mayhem, more or less. And Bane's character was excommunicated from the League of Shadows, so he's still he's still on board with that whole idea, and so he's trying to do it in a way that they really can't stop him. So he takes the whole city hostage with the core to this fusion reactor that Wayne Enterprises built, over a few months, this, the core becomes unstable and it just blows up and just wiped the whole city up. So, and, Batman's got all, he's got Lucius's help and Alfred's somewhere. I don't know where Alfred went the last third of the movie after he left. I mean, he's like, I'm going to give a great performance, like, for, about 25% of the movie and then disappear and then show up at the end and feel bad that I failed Master Bruce. And that's what he does. He just, lets him, he thinks he's dead in the end. And he's there, pleading with the gravestones of Martha and Thomas Wayne, like, I failed you. You fucking left, dude. You didn't have to leave. You didn't have to agree with what he was doing. I mean, you just didn't have to fucking leave, dude. I mean, seriously. I mean, he left there wasn't much left of his estate in the end, but yeah, they left Alfred whatever was left, and then the Wayne Manor was, this is another aspect of the movie, Wayne Manor was turned into a home for orphan boys, and hopefully they won't play that piano that opens up the secret passage to the Batcave, but because in the movie they just hit a few keys on the piano and like ding, 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 and then there's the Batcave, kids. This Batman's used to be Bruce Wayne. Hello. But the cop, John Blake, whose real first name turned out being Robin, he gives him the coordinates of the Batcave from, not from Wayne Manor, but I guess because he knew he was Batman, he figured it out. Just because he was, and he was orphaned like Robin. His character was orphaned. Even though Robin's family were a bunch of acrobats, that'd been kind of hard to work in. It's hard to make that cool. I don't even think there are trapeze artists anymore. I mean, it's just some weird thing they do in, Estonia or some shit now. I don't know. So in the end, you see Alfred goes to Florence, Italy, like he mentions earlier in the movie, which I don't think I mentioned this, because when Bruce left originally to go train to become Batman, Alfred would take holiday once a year to go to Florence, Italy, and then he would hope he would see him from across a room in a cafe and hoped he would be with a woman and some children, maybe be married, and he would nod at him and Bruce would nod at him and they would just part ways, never talk to each other again because he knows he's better off. Because Alfred always said there's nothing for him in Gotham. He wished he'd never come home because there's nothing but pain and tragedy here. And then so when he leaves him, it's so stupid, and he leaves him, and then all Bruce has left is, he's got Morgan, he's got, the new flying airship, the Bat, which is like that's his, new Batmobile. And something Lucius he was just happened to be developing this thing in case he decided to come out of recluse or seclusion, and, so yeah, but, and Commissioner Gordon, I guess I didn't even talk about Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon, he's pretty cool in this. He's he's kind of the one that pulls Batman out of retirement, because Bruce goes to a hospital to get a physical workup because he's in terrible shape. His joints, his knees are fucked. He's using a cane and everything. He goes, but he still jumps out the window with a descending cable and, puts a ski mask on and goes into Commissioner Gordon's hospital room because he got injured dealing with Bane earlier in the movie, and he says, he's one where he has the oxygen mask. You see it in the earliest trailer. It goes, the Batman must rise. And Bruce is like, what if he doesn't exist anymore, and then... So, hey, a couple nights later, Commish is watching TV from his hospital bed, and guess who's on the TV on the Batcycle? It's Batman. He's back. So that was pretty cool. He made his usual, entrance. And Catwoman. I like the character of Catwoman. I know I'm kind of going all over the place on this, but it's hard to, talk about it, in a linear way. It's, because it's hard to, I remember the whole movie. I've seen it more than once, so I want to take my nephew to see it, so I wound up seeing it again after I saw it with my fiance, and I saw it at the midnight showing, because I had to go to the midnight showing. And so it's just a really overall great flick. It complements the other movies. They all fit together pretty well. It's nothing's perfect. I don't know. I I wasn't sure how the ending would be or how I would end it, but I felt okay. I felt good about it. It was slick. It, you know, um, Hans Zimmer, as I'm playing this in the background, Hans Zimmer's score is amazing. I, just really, really loved all the movies. And it's really unfortunate. I mean, I'll just make one mention of this, that, those people had to have this horrible tragedy happen to them. I mean, it is just terrible. You can't, words can't express it. And it's the same thing. The media is going to exploit it and everything. And this guy who said he's the Joker and went in there with all this tactical gear. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry. I think somebody should have the balls to say, yeah, there's got to be an assault weapons ban, because we as a society have proved we can't maybe handle them. I don't know. I'm not. There's really no. I mean, you don't need an AR-15 rifle and shit. And it's not comic books or the movie's fault that this guy's concocted this whole plot. I mean, it was chilling. It is chilling. And how he had his apartment rigged to blow up was very kind of Joker-like from the second movie. So that's why the whole thing is a little bit frightening. But there's and they always ask the same things. Were there warning signs? I don't know. You know what he should have done? He should have just went to the damn movie, enjoyed it, and went the fuck home, and I don't know, went back to school or something, because apparently he was pretty bright, instead of just destroying people and ruining lives and crippling and just doing just horrible acts. I mean, it's the book. It is the worst. It's the worst U.S. mass shooting thus far. So it's so I don't know. And it's like it doesn't really help to think about what's in someone's head. Because on the news they always like, let's get in the killer's head. You don't know anything. Nobody knows anything. They probably won't find out much about him. More about him, really. He'll just get convicted and whatever. So I don't know. They'll let him. If Diane Sawyer or Barbara Walters or one of those people interviews him from jail once he's convicted, or what, they'll never get a straight answer out of him, probably. So it's just fucked up and goofy. But the movie was good. The movie was definitely cool. Take the kids, take the family. Don't be afraid to go to the movies or do anything, because you're not safe anywhere. Someone could bust through my door right now and, gun me down with an Uzi. I hope it doesn't happen. But anyway, great film. Go see The Dark Knight Rises.